Hello Capricorn, welcome to Emerald Dreams Tarot. Today we're going to do a conscious mind and subconscious mind reading. We're going to see what comes through for you. But let's just get started. Let's start with the subconscious mind. Tell me about Capricorn's subconscious mind. What is Capricorn's subconscious mind thinking? What is in Capricorn's subconscious mind? Capricorn's subconscious mind. Tower reversed. Okay. The Fool. King of Wands reversed. The Star. The Hermit. Big healing energy coming through. The Ace of Pentacles reversed. Nine of Pentacles reversed. The Chariot. Queen of Cups reversed. Ace of Swords. Not Temperance. Strength reversed. And Page of Wands reversed. You have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. You have the Eight of Wands reversed on the split, and the Five of Wands reversed at the back. Okay, Capricorn, if you are unfamiliar with how I read, I take two cards vertically and I let them clarify each other, and then I go on from there. So, talking about the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles reversed, both reversed. This is a lot of interchange when it has to do with you feeling dependent on people or just not stable in the ways that you would like to be, maybe not monetarily, maybe not environmentally, maybe not mentally stable in the ways that you want to be, but this is changing. There's a lot of interchange happening in you right now. Massive Tower moments, massive paradigm shifts are happening in you. Not really outside of you, but inside of you. We have the Fool with the Chariot. There's something here that you really are desperate to move past, I feel. There's like this desperation of like, okay, this is over, I need to go past. This is over, I need to move past this. Okay, this is over, I need to leave it behind. I feel like you may be really working on yourself at this time. There's probably a lot of self, what's the word I'm looking for? Personal development. Or phrase, I should say. Or term. Personal development happening. You might have some some chariot in your chart. You might have some Cancer in your chart. Yeah. But I really see this as like, you are so eager to start a new chapter in your life. You are just completely going full steam ahead into this new chapter of your life. This King of Wands reverse and this Queen of Cups, this feels like what was maybe in the past. This feels like very much incompatibility. It feels like you guys just like brought out the worst in each other, maybe. Like, you felt like you maybe could be nothing but like cold-hearted and distant, and they felt like they could be nothing but destructive and, you know, terrify everybody in their wake. But yeah, this is very dangerous combo, because you're both very much run on emotion, and not necessarily like, or you at least were run on emotion and not necessarily logic. Like, your emotions were making all of your decisions, and so it was the same thing for them. And it's not an accusation. It either fits or it doesn't. This is either for you or it's not. So, you know, take what resonates and all that. You have the Star with the Ace of Swords. So here, you kind of realize that you had a bigger purpose in life than to be stuck in this loop. You realize that you need to heal, that you need to put your goals elsewhere. And there's a massive truth that came to you in this moment where you had this realization of like, wow, this is not working. I need to find what does work, and I need to find it for me. We have the Hermit and Strength reversed. So this is you kind of definitely isolating, pushing people away, kind of going stoic like the Capricorns tend to do, you know? Like, hey, I can deal with it myself. Hey, I'll figure everything out myself. Hey, I don't need you. I can do this by myself, because if I do it myself, then I know it's been done right. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the state that you're in right now, and I feel like there's no convincing you otherwise. You know, there's no getting you out of the state until you have found what you're looking for, and you are less on a manhunt for answers within yourself. Let's put it that way. So, then we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Page of Wands reversed. So, yeah, you did not end up going with this may have been like a situationship dynamic, but whatever this was like very much a false start, some false like advertisement, because you are not pursuing this whatsoever. It does not turn you on. There's nothing to learn from it. There's no potential. It's just not, yeah, you're moving forward. You're leaving this behind, which is good, because this didn't look like it was meant for you anyway. But we have the Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Now, you are really taking the reins, taking control of your life in a very good, positive way. You are introspecting, you are trying to heal, you are moving past and letting go of what is not right for you, which is really good. You're really on top of your shit right now, Capricorn. So yeah, this is everything that's kind of happening in the background of your life right now. I feel this may come up in your conscious mind as well, just because this is a lot of major healing themes, a lot of major change themes. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw like the Tower again, or the Hermit again, or the Chariot again, to be honest with you. In your conscious mind spread. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, this card wanted to jump out. Two of Cups reversed. Yeah, that's definitely on your mind then, this failed relationship. Failed situationship, whatever it was, it's definitely on your mind. So, tell me about Capricorn's conscious mind. Tell me about Capricorn's conscious mind. Tell me about Capricorn's conscious mind. One more. Tell me about Capricorn's conscious mind. Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Swords. Justice. The Devil reversed. That's you. Nine of Cups reversed. Oop. King of Wands reversed again. Yeah, this person really has you fucked up. Six of Wands reversed. Oh, okay. This was definitely not a situationship. This was definitely more than a situationship. Queen of Swords. Ace of Swords again. I think that's the same position, is it not? Three of Cups. I see. King of Swords. Okay, you have the Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck, the Hanged Man at the split reverse, and the Hierophant upright at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Three of Swords. Yes, this was very painful. I realize that. Okay. So, King of Wands popping out again for the Two of Cups reversed. This person definitely was destructive, impulsive, domineering, tyrannical in this relationship, and it made it completely imbalanced. It was very clear to you after a while that this was not meant to be. This was not meant to be. But I want to get into the Six of Wands reversed with the Ten of Pentacles. So you had some kind of structure here with this person. You had some kind of shared environment, some kind of shared Ten of Pentacles. Maybe you lived with them. Maybe you have a family with this person. Maybe this person is family to you. Something like that. But the Six of Wands reversed, you lost confidence in this completely. It could also be that somebody's ego got in the way. Are we surprised? Who? But yeah, it was very much not successful. But I don't have to tell you that. That's just what the cards are saying. But yeah, Sorry, I was yawning. I film these at night, so kind of tired. What was I saying? Yeah, you lost confidence in this. You really felt like there was no way to win anymore in this this environment, this whatever you had built up with this person. You have slowly lost confidence over time. And with the Queen of Swords and the Ten of Swords, you're definitely very aware of the pain that this has caused and the fact that it is over. But the Ten of Swords is like, so there is so much history there. There's so much energy behind it. I mean, all the way from the Ace to the Nine of Swords has to come before the Ten of Swords can happen. So that's a lot of time, a lot of shit that went down that has contributed to the end of this. A lot of pain as well. This is defeat. You may have felt defeated in this situation. But with the Queen of Swords here, you are kind of analyzing this. You are kind of like putting your thinking cap on and really instead of, like, you know how I was saying earlier how you were both kind of run by your emotion? This is you putting logic to... So subconsciously, you may have been run by your emotions, but consciously, you are very aware of what's happening, and you are very intellectual and logical when it comes to the situation. You're also, you know, she's holding that sword. She's ready to strike. You weren't afraid to cut this off. You weren't afraid. Maybe you were a little bit apprehensive because of that Ten of Pentacles, what you had together, what you built together, but you know that this has to end, and maybe you were the one who ended it. You'll have to let me know, Capricorn. Okay, and then we have the Ace of Swords with Justice. You, this realization that you had was also what came in this realization that you had was that this situation is not fair to you. It's not fair to you. You realize that you want fairness in your relationship. In whatever relationship you have, you want that fairness, you want that equality. And you're willing to cut a bitch off if they're not gonna treat you that way. Which I think is wonderful. That's what I love about Capricorns. I'm a Capricorn Sun and Mercury, and I have a Capricorn Stellium. So, I'm not afraid to cut a bitch off. And I know you're not either. And I see that as one of our superpowers, to be quite honest with you. We're not afraid. It's like Mac Miller said, you know, rest in peace. But if they don't get the picture, cut them out of that frame. Very simple. Very simple. And you did just that. And you realized you had to do just that. Okay, but here's what I like to see. So the Devil in reverse, kind of seeing this as you, as, you know, wounded. You have like shrapnel in your heart coming out of this relationship. But there are people around you that love you, that are going to support you through this and are going to help you get through this. You have a support system. You have friends. You have people who you emotionally harmonize with on a friendship level that are going to be there for you if you choose to open up to them. Now, I saw subconsciously that you are pushing people away. There are people waiting for you to tell them that you need them. It is, I don't know, like, connect the dots for me, Capricorn. You know, it's wonderful to feel needed by people, right? It's wonderful to feel like somebody needs you. Somebody wants you to be there for them. That you have something that could help somebody else. Now, give that feeling to your friends. let them know, like, hey, I could really use your help here to get through this shit, and I'm really gonna need your support to get through this shit. Like, let them know point blank, like, I can't do this alone. Because let me tell you, Capricorn, you can try to do it alone, but there's gonna be things that you're gonna miss, perspectives that you're not gonna see, truths that may not come to light. You know, everybody thinks differently. Everybody sees situations differently. Maybe there was something that one of your friends saw in your relationship that was a huge problem that you never realized. So, you know, definitely open up to the people around you, your support system. They're definitely gonna help you with that and be there for you, I feel. And give you that advice that you need, or a perspective that you're searching for, you know? So we have the King of Swords and the Nine of Cups reversed. This is you again, being very diligent, very cutthroat with what you do not want. You are getting very clear about what you do not want in your life, because you know what you don't want, because you don't want this to happen again. You do not want this to happen again. And everything that happened in that relationship, you don't want it. You don't want it. You know exactly what you do not want now. And that, my friends, is part of the reason why we date multiple people in our lives. Most of us do anyways. It's because we learn what we do and what we do not like, what works and what doesn't work, who we are in relationships, how we act in relationships. I can tell you right now, you are going to, if you've never been in a relationship before, you are going to be a completely different side of you is going to come out. A side of you that you didn't know was there. Like, a side of you that has internalized the relationships around you your whole life and now acts as if it's that kind of relationship. And you're going to do that subconsciously. You're going to repeat and replicate what you have seen throughout your life, whether it be healthy or unhealthy. And that is unavoidable. So, like, in an extremely bad situation like this, like, yeah, they are obviously in the wrong, and they are obviously not a great partner for you, and they probably acted a fool the entire time. But, like, I'm not trying to victim blame here, but there is also going to be a lot of things that you are going to have to work on coming out of this relationship. And I tell you that from experience, Capricorn. I tell you that from experience, because especially when it comes to first relationships, like, we just make all the mistakes. We make all the mistakes. Hindsight is 20/20, but, you know, that what has been done has been done. You can't undo it. Yeah, but you're already in that introspective mode. The only advice I would give you is to include your friends and the people who love you in that introspection. Let them know what's going on with you. Let them know how you're feeling. Let them know, like, how this is affecting you. Be open and honest about how you're feeling, how you're coping with things, how you still feel towards this person. And it's okay to still have love for this person. At one point you did love this person. I can see that. I can feel that from this reading. But, you know, have grace for that version of yourself that loved this person, that was in love with this person. Have compassion and grace for that version of yourself that still lives within you, that still loves this person. It's like when our inner children still have that idealized version of a bad parent in their head, and you have to kind of work through that and get over that as an adult. Take them off that pedestal, you know? So, at the bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Swords with the Three of Swords. This pain, this heartache, this absolute just knife in the heart is really keeping you up at night. It is really on your mind 24/7. You are thinking about it all the time. I don't blame you. It seems like this is kind of fresh, so definitely take the time to grieve this. Whatever you're feeling, don't try to stop what you're feeling. Don't try to contain your emotions. Don't try to control your grief. Let it play out how it's going to play out. Let it unfold. Let it take its course the way it's naturally going to take its course. It might take you years to get over this motherfucker. Years. You're coming from a 10 of Pentacles with this person. It will take you a long ass time to get over this. Capricorns in general, I feel, take a long ass time to get over people. But this in particular, since you had so much history with them, you know, is gonna take a while. But okay, I digress. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. But let's get into some oracles. Can't remember if I used this deck on my channel yet. But I got the Poesis Oracle deck, and I am absolutely fucking in love and obsessed with it. It is currently my favorite deck. So let's get into it. What does it have to say about your situation? Trigger. Feel. I don't take these reversed, by the way. I just take them upright. Chaos. Change. Create. Boundary. Soften. Abundance. Earth. Open. Yeah. Rage. Birth. No, I bent the card. No. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have Expand. Then we have Illuminate and Compassion at the bottom. Okay. So, be compassionate and slow, and go slow with yourself, and definitely be more of like a padded cell for yourself whenever you're triggered, rather than like an unsafe environment when you're triggered. Does that make sense? You know, like with trigger and soften, it's like I'm trying to find the words to describe what I'm feeling about this. It's like you kind of have to forgive your triggers, you know? Understand where they had to maybe you can't like trace them back to their root origin of like where they developed, but like try to understand why they developed and why they're there. Like for me, I have triggers where I get extremely defensive, and I had to realize that that comes from my whole life being ridiculed and not good enough, and constantly being judged and chastised, and just, you know, people came for me a lot. Not in that way. They came for me like verbally and you know, stuff like that. It's hard to get to the point where you can kind of have compassion for your triggers. But I really want you to get to that point, Capricorn. Yeah, let's talk about abundance and feel. So, you may have like a lot of emotions happening right now. That's normal. I want you to know that's normal. At this point in your story, that is normal. Sorry, I'm really tired. But there's a lot to be learned from your emotions as well. I want you to really like lock in and journal about this so you can look back on this time in your life and see how far you've come. Because you are not going to be the same person after you've gone through this healing journey that you're on right now. You're not going to be the same person. So definitely try to, you know, even if it's like in your notes app on your phone, try to like document what's going on with you and during this time, you know? Okay, so chaos in the earth. Like, yeah, have you seen the state of the US right now? I don't think that's what this is talking about though, but I just feel like maybe your whole world feels like it's in chaos right now, like it's in shambles, like everything just blew up in front of your face. The world dropped beneath your feet and everything is upside down, backwards, left, right, center, whatever. This is not going to last forever. I'm being shown, like, you know, when the earth first formed, it was complete chaos. It was constantly being bombarded by debris, meteors, you know, it was constantly being like terraformed in order to create the planet that we have today. But after a long ass time, it really slowed down, and all that debris created our moon. So there is going to be things that come from this situation. There are going to be, you know, you just kind of have to let the chaos be chaos for a while. Earth would not exist if it didn't go through that chaotic first, you know, couple million years or however long that lasted, you know? So kind of just let it take its course. Yeah. And this is pretty self-explanatory, but be open to change. Be open to change. I know it's harder. It's easier said than done. Capricorns can get very rigid in their belief structures and their life structures and their, like, just everything, really. We can get really stubborn and rigid about some things, but you are in, I'm seeing these butterflies right here. You are in a very transformative part of your life. So when you notice a change taking place, do not resist it. Be open to it. You know, kind of just like let the waves carry you wherever they're going to carry you. Whenever a riptide comes in on the shore, they always tell you, don't fight the water. You're going to drown. If you just let the water take you wherever it's going to take you, you will eventually end up on shore. And then you can get up and walk around and get back to where you were at. Or just go in a new direction altogether. So don't fight the water. Let it take you where it's going to take you, Capricorn. Now, I'm not too sure about create and rage. Damn, is that side of the card already fucked up? I guess so. Create and rage. Maybe you have like an urge to kind of stir up some shit. That might be like cathartic for you. I'm not going to advise against that because I feel like whatever would happen would be deserved. But that's up to you completely. This could also mean something else that I'm just not getting. Let me ask for a clarifier card and we will go from there. Clarifier. Illuminate again coming out. That was on the middle of the deck, and then we have wisdom at the bottom. So illuminate. Create, rage, and illuminate. I feel like through your anger, you may come to some realizations. Don't fight your anger when you feel it. Don't push it down. Just try to understand it. Where is it coming from? What triggered it? Try to get down to the root of it. And it will kind of show you. It will show you some things. It will show you a lot about yourself. It will show you a lot about how you work, how you process things, how you function as a human being, you know? And then we have birth and boundary. So I feel like this is the time of your life where you're really starting to put up boundaries with yourself and with others in your life, which is great. I love seeing this. Also, what came to mind was boundaries with your parents. You could also be putting up boundaries with your parents at this time. That's always a good idea. I advocate for that so much. Parents need to realize that they do not own their children. Their children are not mini thems. They're complete and utter whole human beings that are different from their parents. And if you feel like there is too much enmeshment or like just too much shit like coming from your parents, like I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling right now, but you know what I'm kind of saying. Like if there's anything that makes you feel like you need to put up a boundary, definitely put up that boundary. Okay. So let's do another oracle deck and just pull a few cards, see what comes out of there, and then we will end the reading. Okay. reflection. Be wary of this wanted to come out, by the way. Be wary of things you believe to see with eyes wide shut, for they are mirrors of the mad, and truths only spoken with a bleeding tongue. What did I say, Capricorn? You're going through transformation. Why did I say it like that? Transformation. And then intuition says, you hold the answers, you know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. And then transformation, like 1,000 storms held in hands soft against the winds, there is change arising deep from within. And then potions and spells, a pinch of this, a dash of that, be sure you're sure before you call. So you may be into witchcraft, or you may be being called to start your journey in witchcraft. If so, there's definitely spells that you could do to help you move forward. Like a cord cutting would be good. You may need more than one. However, people don't realize that sometimes you need more than one cord cutting to sever a really strong bond. You may want to do like a road opener for yourself, just to, keep your options open. Especially since you're in that chariot energy and that fool energy as well. You want to start something new. So, or you could do a healing spell. That's pretty self-explanatory. You could do a self-love spell to really try to be there for yourself and try to understand yourself better and just have more self-compassion. So those are just a few things that you could do at this time that would be beneficial for you. You're in a state of inward expansion, inward journeying, inward, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you know what I'm saying, but yeah, this is the point that you're at, and you need to follow what you feel, because your intuition is trying to tell you something and you're ignoring it, or you don't hear it. So intuition is truly nothing more than a whisper, and you can drive right by it if you don't notice it. So just listen for that whisper. Listen for the whisper. When something happens, or when you're in need of answers, listen to what your inner voice is saying. But yeah, that's all I have for you today, Capricorn. It was an honor and a pleasure to read for you, as always. I hope to see you back here sometime soon, and I will see you guys later. Bye!